recorded live in beautiful Colorado, USA. Broadcast around the world. You're listening to the Quarterly Review Podcast, produced by Three Angels Message Ministry. Your host is Tamara Rookdashel.
Welcome to our Quarterly Review Podcast, produced by Three Angels Message Ministry. I'm your host, Tamara Rookdashel. This quarter is titled Daniel. Today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2020. Our lesson is titled Unblemished and Wise. Let's begin with a word of prayer. Precious Father and God of heaven, all knowledge, talent, and wisdom are from you, and we thank you for all the beauty around us and the minds to appreciate it. It's hard to stay unblemished in the world we live in, but with you, as all things are possible. Give us strength to stay unblemished, wise, and cunning, to remain pure and worthy living sacrifices, to accomplish your loving will for your children. You are the only one true and living God. Those of us who call upon your name and love you look to you to be our strength and our shield. We trust that you never change. You have always been the covenant keeper, and you do not forget your own. Strengthen us as we spiritually mature, so we can in some small way bring about the fulfillment of our commission, to teach others about you, our Messiah, and your love for us all. Send us as emissaries. In Jesus, or in Hebrew, Yeshua's name, we praise you, love you, and thank you. Amen. Daniel and his companions are chosen for royal service because they fit within the profile established by Nebuchadnezzar. According to the king, palace officers must have no blemish and be good-looking. This is found in Daniel chapter 1, verse 4. Interestingly, sacrifices and people serving in the sanctuary should have no blemish. Leviticus chapter 22, verses 17 to 25, and chapter 21, verses 16 to 24. The Babylonian king seems to compare himself to the God of Israel, insofar as he demands similar qualifications for those serving in his palace. On the other hand, such qualifications may inadvertently suggest that Daniel and his compatriots were living sacrifices for God as they faced the challenges of the Babylonian Empire. I will now read Galatians chapter 2, 19 and 20, Matthew chapter 16, 24 to 26, and 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17 out of CJV. The first, Galatians chapter 2, verses 19 and 20 reads, "For it was through letting the Torah speak for itself that I died to its traditional legalistic misinterpretation, so that I might live in direct relationship with God. When the Messiah was executed on the stake as a criminal, I was too, so that my proud ego no longer lives, but the Messiah lives in me. And the life I now live in my body, I live by the same trusting faithfulness that the Son of God had, who loved me and gave himself for me." Next, Matthew chapter 16, verses 24 to 26 reads, "Then Yeshua told his Talmidim, 'If anyone wants to come after me, let him say no to himself, take up his execution stake, and keep following me. For whoever wants to save his own life will destroy it, but whoever destroys his life for my sake will find it. What good will it do someone if he gains the whole world but forfeits his life? Or what can a person give in exchange for his life?'" And finally, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17. "For our light and transient troubles are achieving for us an everlasting glory, whose weight is beyond description." The question we are answering in these three references is, what do these verses tell us about how we can stay faithful amid whatever temptations we face? The first one, through Torah, which was the only scriptures of their day, we can live in direct relationship with God. Next, true discipleship is denying ego and self-indulgence, living to fulfill God's will, the Great Commission given us in Matthew 28, 18 to 20. And last, our troubles are achieving an everlasting glory that cannot be measured. God honors the loyalty of the 4 Hebrew captives, and at the end of their 10-day testing period, they look healthier and better nourished than the other students who have eaten from the royal table. So God gives his 4 servants knowledge and skill in all literature and wisdom, and to Daniel alone God gives, quote, understanding in all visions and dreams, end quote, Daniel chapter 1, verse 17. This gift will play a significant role in Daniel's prophetic ministry. Just as God honors the faith of his servants in the Babylonian court, he gives us wisdom as we face the challenges of this world. From the experience of Daniel and his companions, we learn that it is indeed possible to remain untainted by the corrupting elements of our society. We also learn that we do not need to isolate ourselves from society and its cultural life in order to serve God. Daniel and his companions not only live amid a culture built on lies and errors and myths, but are schooled on those lies and errors and myths, and yet they remain faithful. No matter where we live, we face the challenges of staying faithful to what we believe amid cultural and social influences that are contrary to that belief. Identify the negative influences in your culture and ask yourself, how well am I defying them? We hope you enjoyed our review of today's quarterly lesson. Please consider writing down and looking up the Bible text we cover in your own Bible and for yourself if you do not already receive a published copy of our quarterly adult Bible study guide. Please hit follow, like, or subscribe on the podcast page you are on so you can receive up-to-date podcasts and access to all of our services. We have made available a free PDF download of just the questions for each week, available within our Sunday blog posts. These are great additions to keeping a spiritual journal of what God has done in your life for your own spiritual edification, but as witness to encourage others as well. Writing down your answers to the questions allows them to sink in more deeply, inspire further thought, to inspire action, to ultimately inspire change in your life and the lives of those around you. If you are also looking for groups in your area that are studying with us, we can provide information to connect you. Just contact us or place your request within our forum. We look forward to connecting with you online in the future and in God's kingdom.
Thank you for joining us today. To find out more about our ministry, listen to older podcasts, read additional articles, join our forum, access printable PDFs, or order your own published quarterly booklet, please visit us online at www.3am-ministry.org. Have a blessed and prosperous day.